Okay, so now when we talk about atomic mass and number, these are where like some of the calculations come in, and so these are important to really get down and remember. So all atoms of an element have the same number of protons and the same atomic number. So our learning goal for this is to be given the atomic number and the mass number of an atom, be able to figure out or state the number of protons, neutrons, and electrons. So for our atomic number, this is a whole number that's specific for each element. It's the same for all atoms of an element, and it's equal to the number of protons that are in an atom. So this is important to remember, that the atomic number is equal to the number of protons in an atom. It appears above the symbol for an element on the periodic table. And so let me get out of the way. All right, so our atomic number for sodium would be 11. All right. The atomic number represents the number of protons. For example, the atomic number of hydrogen is 1, and every hydrogen atom has 1 proton. The atomic number for carbon is 6, and every carbon atom has 6 protons. The atomic number for Cu is 29, and every Cu atom has 29 protons. So our core chemistry skill here is going to be how to count protons and neutrons. Remember, protons are the positive, neutrons are neutral, and electrons are negative. And so when we look at our atomic number, again, that's going to be equal to the number of protons in an atom. So for lithium here, we have 3. For carbon, we have 6. And so you can see that we have 3 red here, right? The neutrons, and then there's 3 electrons as well. And so you can count and you can figure out, again, remembering that the atomic number is the number of protons in an atom. Atoms have a neutral charge. For neutral atoms, therefore, the net charge is going to be 0. So to calculate this, you can figure out that the number of protons would be equal to the number of electrons. So protons are positive, electrons are negative. So when they equal each other out, then they're going to have a neutral charge and therefore have no overlying negative or positive charge. So an example of this is that aluminum has 13 protons and 13 electrons. So therefore, the net overall charge is going to be 0. So if we look at that in numbers, 13 protons would be represented as 13 plus, right? And then 13 electrons would be the 13 negative charges. So 13 positive minus 13 gives you the net charge of 0. Okay. So looking here and doing a little bit of a study check, pause me and figure these out. So using the periodic table to fill in the atomic number, number of protons, number of electrons for each of the following elements. So pause and then come back. So did we get for nitrogen 7, 7, 7, zinc 30, 30, 30, and sulfur 16, 16, and 16. Okay. The mass number, on the other hand, represents the number of particles in the nucleus. So this is equal to the number of protons added to the number of neutrons. And so the mass number is always going to be a whole number. And this is not, it doesn't appear on the periodic table of elements because we can easily calculate it. Okay, so here are some examples of the composition of atoms of some different elements. So hydrogen, again, is our atomic number 1, mass number is 1. So the number of protons would be 1, number of neutrons would be 0, number of electrons would be 1, because protons and electrons equal each other out. Okay, and so then you can figure all of these guys out, okay, by atomic number and what we were talking about, adding, subtracting, and equality. So for study tips, and again, this would be another great flashcard, the number of protons is going to be equal to the atomic number. The number of protons plus the number of neutrons is the mass number. The number of neutrons equals the mass number minus the atomic number. And just a side note, that mass numbers are given for specific isotopes only. So go ahead and look at these and then pause me when you get to there. All right, so an atom of lead has a mass number of 207. So how many protons are in the nucleus? How many neutrons are in the nucleus, and how many electrons are in the atom? So what we figured out, that atomic number is 82, the number of protons is 82, and the mass number was 702. Or sometimes I'm dyslexic, sorry, 207. And so how many neutrons are in the nucleus? That would be the mass number minus the number of protons to give you the number of neutrons. So that'd be 207 minus 82 to give you 125 neutrons. And how many electrons would be in each of them? So that would be, the atom is neutral, which means that the number of electrons would be equal to the number of protons. And an atom of lead has 82 protons and 82 electrons. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thanks.